Hello everyone, I'm ADX DeNeRlX and this is a guide on ReShade settings. Now, if you don't know what ReShade is, it's basically a program that you add to, whatever, in this case it's Contract Wars, to make the graphics look different, some cases better, in some cases just different. You can make it more colorful, more sharp, and look better. I'll show you about that later, but first, if you don't have ReShade installed, like in Contract Wars client, if you don't have all of the files you need, then first go to the first video link in the description. It will take you here and it will show you how to install it from my friend Kevin here.
Hey guys.
Hello. So yeah, here it will just show you what to do about installing the program itself, but that's not what this video is about. So let's go right into my settings and how they look. This is the menu. I think you first have to set up the menu and all of that before you can like go to the settings, but that's not hard, just experiment a little bit. So the settings I have on, always when I'm playing: adaptive sharpen, clarity, and colorfulness. First, adaptive sharpen, that's basically just to make your, I'll turn them off, and this is what Contract Wars menu at least usually would look like, and as you can see, it just makes quite a bit of difference. By the way, in this video, put it to a high setting. 1080p would be best, because then you can see most clearly what it does, and the ReShade settings, and also what I'm doing and pressing. So on adaptive sharpen, this one is really nice. It makes everything look sharper and like more clear. It's really nice to have on. I recommend you to have between on these settings, and haven't done anything. It's not needed really. You can test around a bit with it, but anyways, on the sharpening strength, I would recommend you have between 1000 and 1500. If you do too much, in my opinion, it doesn't look good, so have between 1000 and 1500 for the best look. So on clarity, you can't see any difference now. I think clarity is about in movement, how it looks then when stuff moves and stuff, so it wouldn't show too much here, but just do some settings like these. If your PC can't handle too many ReShade effects, just don't use clarity. It's not that important. So onto colorfulness. As you can see, it's a massive difference in how good it looks. As with adaptive sharpen, I would recommend colorfulness to be between 1000 and 1500. If it's too much, it's just overkill in my opinion. And don't go negative, it looks horrible if you do that. So put it on between 1000 to 1500. Lim Luma doesn't make too much difference really. I think it's more kind of reddish colors that's changed by that. But yeah, not too important really. So you can have it on whatever you want. So, and a way more drastic effect is the tint or sepia, whatever it's called. As you can see, it changes the colors way faster and way more drastically than colorfulness, and you have more control over the colors, so you choose what it will be. But the problem with that is that often it won't look natural, so I would say you should stick to colorfulness, but you can just test around with this one too. And by the way, the best thing is if you test everything yourself instead of like asking everyone else what they have always. But this is just a guide on what some of the most simple effects are. Kind of a beginner's guide. And also you can choose the strength there. What I would recommend is that you don't go too hard on this tint effect, because it changes things quite drastically quite fast, so it's not too good to use. If you want to use it, keep it below 300, I would say, and then just figure out some of the settings yourself. But it is okay to use, but I don't like it too much. So, next thing, it's the crosshair I use. Well, first I'll just turn these on. The crosshair I use, I have a mix between two crosshairs, both binded to same key binding. So it's Shift plus C, or Z, whatever you say, wherever you're from. I don't care. First, advanced crosshair. This you want to use the cross, not the ring, because that's not needed. That just looks ew. That looks shit. Anyways, what you want to do is have the cross. I'll turn this other one off here. The cross, you want to pull it all the way down and make it as thick as possible, so it's more clear to see where the dot is, and you can be more precise more easily that way. So crosshair size all the way down, and crosshair thickness all the way up. Technically it will not be a circle, it will be more of a square, but it's so small that you won't notice anyways. And the colors, you can change it however you want really, but I would personally recommend you use a red color, because it's got a good contrast to pretty much everything else in the game, so it's easy to spot that way. Now, onto Xhair. This one looks way more complicated, but you won't use many of the settings really. You just want a little dot in the center. What you do is you use texture file. You don't use solid color, not inversion, just texture file. That will make it one small dot. Might not be able to see it on the video, but there's a small dot in the middle. By the way, the crosshair might be the thing to see on video, but you should just test it yourself. So what you want it to be on: opacity 1000. This one is the one that matters. This one doesn't matter that much really. These ones, just stay away from them really, they're just bad. Keep the X and Y axis shifts on -1. That is to put it all the way in the middle of the red dot. That's from the cross. And this will make it so the red dot is slightly off center, but if you aim straight on someone's head and shoot, then you will still hit, as long as the gun has high enough accuracy. So, and here I don't think the colors make any difference. So, that's all my settings. I will now just find a map and show in game. Also, hopefully I have it loaded. Don't know. But yeah, and in a normal ReShade download, you can you don't get the crosshair, either one of them, the two annex. So what you need to do, I will leave, or I'll talk about it a little bit later. Wait, did I have tint on? Okay, I guess so. Summit 2 wasn't the best map to show, but this is what it normally would look like. And with adaptive sharpen, make it way more sharper. If you have it too sharp, then it just looks ugly. Clarity and colorfulness, I think old Summit 2 actually wasn't a too good map to show it on. But anyways, also the crosshair I have on, as you can see, just a shooting test. Wait, fuck. Okay, I went out of contact course, so I think I might maybe not have. Should be fine now. But yeah, all of the bullets, they go where the crosshair is. So as you see, they go slightly off, but when you're aiming at someone here, you can find them with the crosshair, so yeah, no problem really. So, now, one thing you also need to make sure you do is with the crosshair, you have to download the right files. All of these as well as a lot of other, I'll come back to that later, but the Crosshair files, these two, they do not come in the normal ReShade download. So what you need to do is I will add these in a Discord. That will be the second link. Just go to that invite, and it will take you. I'll just use Vitty's private place server and just go to ReShade present, and I'll upload both these files here before I publish the video. So if you just want to find it, go to the search option and go X here, X here, and enter, and then you'll find all the places where someone has mentioned my internet's messing up. Okay, yeah, and just look for one of messages by me. This is my name, by the way. So just find it, and you can just press jump and go to the conversation where that's mentioned. Yeah, I will write X here and just upload the files so you can find it wherever it is. So yeah, search for it and enter and find my name, and yeah, then you'll be able to download it. Go to ReShade present also. That's where it will be. So one thing that's quite important to remember when or quite useful to remember. Okay, by the way, I tested this a little bit earlier and it crashed my Bandicam. Sad life. Is you don't want to have too many effects, because that will just take very long to load. Okay, I will not risk going full screen, but yeah, as you see more effects now, it takes longer to load. It took maybe like 2-3 seconds. By the way, I'm not taking these effects seriously, so whatever. But yeah, that's what just a test. Normally you will have a lot more effects in this folder when you download it. I have deleted a lot of mine that I don't use. What you should do is just go through the effects you don't need and just delete a bunch of them that you don't need and you don't even want to use ever. If you want to use it again or test some different stuff, what you could do is just to drag all of the things you don't need to a new folder out of this folder in client, ReShade, shaders, and just delete the ones you don't need. That will make it load way faster. With all the effects, it might take something like 5 seconds at least, depending on how fast your computer is. With just these effects, it takes like 1 second. So yeah, that's everything I could mention about ReShade. Sorry about the video being a little bit too long and I'm just rambling on, but yeah, this should include all you need to know about my ReShade settings and which is some quite good settings that could make it look a lot better. By the way, also of course, when you change the graphics, it's gonna change the requirements you need on your PC to achieve the same. So it will basically just take away a few frames. So if you have, I'm not sure how much, but if you have, for example, like 100 without any settings, might give you about like 80 or something. I'm not entirely sure about it, but yeah, you just test yourself. Go based on these and just test yourself. Go into empty servers and find out what you like. So sorry about the video being way too long, and goodbye.